hundreds of businesses around the world, and the feedback are fantastic. Well, some of my clients include shopping malls, hotels, bankers, car assembly factories, manufacturing plants, seaport, even IT companies. Okay. I was also a panel speaker for Malaysian Australian Business Council with other economical experts last year, 2019. Okay. Well, today the webinar objective, I will share with you how can you survive the recession, right? So before I go into the topic, I would like to share a little bit more about my background. Right. Well, I was a trained engineer back in the time that back in my time, the semiconductor industry was actually blooming, and everyone I know at that time trying to be an engineer. So I also become an engineer. Now it's very different. I mean, nowadays engineers are not really a popular career anymore. So I mean, how many of you guys are engineer here? Can you please let me know? Yeah, you can type the words engineer. Let me know any engineers here with me today. Anyone? All right. Okay. Well, let me continue. You guys can type it. All right. So my well, I gone through a few recessions. The first one is actually a minor one, where back in the 2001, when the well, that one is not really a big recession. So actually, I started work before the 9/11, and my salary at that time was considered okay, reasonable. But when 9/11 happened, okay, 9/11 World Trade Center was hit by terrorists, and when that happened, most of my friends will actually have pay cuts. So luckily, the company that I work for at that time do not have pay cuts, but we do have. But that year we do not have any salary increment and any bonuses that year. Okay, but at least I survived that for that minor recession. So late, and then in 2008, the subprime financial crisis happened. Right? Lehman Brothers collapsed, and the company I worked for decided to collapse together with Lehman Brothers. So I was out of job at the time. That recession was actually a big hit for me. Right? Why? Because at that time I have lots of debt. I have a house mortgage to pay. I have car loan to pay, and to make matter worse, my son was actually born that year. And then suddenly I have one more thing to worry about, which is actually to buy milk formula. Imagine that. I don't know that milk formula cost so expensive at the time. Now I realize. So I was actually quite depressed at the time, lost, frustrated, and basically I don't know what to do. So I start looking for answers, and what I found is, in order to have a better life, you need to make better decisions. And to make a better decision, you need better knowledge. Okay, so the keyword is to have a better knowledge. Well, in this webinar, I'm very committed to go all out and to share with you what you can do to overcome this recession. Sorry, because we only have limited time together. So I will do everything that I can to maximize the value that you get out from this training. And I promise you to show you how you can learn more, right? In exchange, I ask you to be committed also and play and to be fully attentive and focus on this webinar. So if you are in a room right now, please close and lock your door, and please silence your phone, okay? All right, so let's start. All right. Okay, let me try to control the slide. Why am I not able to control the slide? All right, just a moment. I'll try to control the slide. Okay. All right, so COVID-19. Okay, now everyone knows COVID-19, right? But to be honest, COVID-19 is not just a pandemic. COVID-19 is also a trigger point for major financial crisis, right? I mean, how many of you think that we are already in recession right now? Yeah, please type 1. Let me know if you agree with this, that we are already in recession. If you don't agree, you can type 2. Okay, I also want to know who thinks that everything will be back to normal after COVID-19 is gone. Right? Anyone? Oh, I got 1, 2, 3. Pauline, Amira, Esther, yeah. Saudin, 1, yeah. So you guys know. Okay. By the way, are you guys business owner, or you guys are employee, right? because I like to know how many business owner here. Employee, oh, Pauline is employee, okay. So I know just now Pauline is from the construction company, all right. Grace Lok, employee, okay. So Saudin, I noticed you are from the training and consultancy. Grace, what company are you from, Grace? Yeah, let me know. Okay, manufacturing, all right. Okay, what type of manufacturing, Grace? Okay, you can type, let me just continue on this slide, yeah. Okay. Okay, so these are some of the news I actually got from the internet. So as you can see here, IMF officially declares a global economy recession. If you guys don't know what is IMF, IMF is International Monetary Foundation, which is actually a global financial institution. Okay, so by Flynn rating also say that there will be an unparalleled global recession underway. Okay, these are actually reported on the end of April. So closer to Malaysia, we also have like Landmarks, one of the big company in Malaysia also, which is dealing in the property sector. Okay, so some of the business also will have to be closed down because of COVID-19. Right? So Straits Times also mentioned that how many small businesses in Malaysia can survive and like how many jobs might be lost. This one, all of this you can actually look through from the internet. So things are really happening right now. Right? One of the garment manufacturer named Expert has actually already closed its factory in Malaysia. More than one factory. I think they have about 3 factories. Right? Well, hotel industry, as most of you know, that hit very, very seriously by COVID-19, right? And also travel industry, especially cruise ship. Even if COVID-19 is gone, I don't think anyone will dare to go into any cruise ship anymore. Don't you think so, right? Okay, so for those who are still waiting for COVID-19 to disappear and then we will go back to normal, then I'm sorry to tell you that the normal is not going to happen anymore. So everything will be a new normal right now. So with this lockdown implements, many businesses are unable to do business. So no business, no revenue, no revenue, no income. No income means no cash flow. But most of the employee, they still have to pay salary, they still have to pay rental. There are plenty of overheads that the businessman has to consider. So company with strong cash flow might be able to survive, but how many companies has tons of cash flow lying around, right? Or well, I mean, Malaysian government has implemented some way to help the SME, the small and medium enterprise, but how long can the government help? Right? Right now, the government only can help about 3 months, the most 6 months. After that, what will happen? So right now, many companies are already closing down. Many companies are downsizing and some are actually having pay cuts. I mean, so I would like to know, any of you guys is actually having this problem right now, like pay cuts or your company is going to close down? Right? If you have, please type yes. Type 1, let me know. Okay. Well, but of course, not everything is gloom and doom. So there are still people who make a lot of money during this recession. So it's actually, what are the choice that you have? All right. Oh, Michael, one. All right. So tell me later, Michael, what happened to you? Okay. So next slide, I would like to ask you guys, what is your choice? All right. Would you like to be rich and happy, or sad or poor? Okay, let me know. Type happy if you want to be happy. Type sad if you want to be sad. But of course, I believe the choice are very, very obvious, right? Okay, so whether you believe it or not, things have already changed. So even after COVID-19 disappeared, things will not be the same again. People will still be afraid to go out. Social distancing will be normal, okay? So even when COVID-19 is disappear, even if you go out to eat with your friends, I don't think you will go out with a bunch of people anymore. Okay? Or maybe you will prefer to take away delivery and bring it back to your to your office and eat yourself. Okay, so things is actually not going to be normal anymore. So restaurants with private rooms might do better than those hawker centers that is open. Don't you think so? Okay, so during this lockdown, people also realize that they don't need to buy so many stuff. So spending on unnecessary stuff will also be reduced. Okay? So most of people will only buy those essential things like groceries, maybe toilet paper for some countries, but Malaysia, we are fine with toilet papers. Well, things will not be the same again. And so the question is, are you willing to change? So there will be a new way of life. There will be a new way of spending. There will be a new way of doing business. There will be a new job that will be created, and some job will be redundant. Don't you think so? Right? So if you choose to be happy and rich, the first thing to do is actually you need to change, accept the changes, and to adapt to it fast. So are you willing to change? Right? If you are willing to change, please let me know. Type change if you are willing to change. Okay. Okay, so before we go on, I would like to know your situation right now. Okay, are you drowning, floating, or swimming right now? And let me know. Type in the chat box. Let me know. Which area are you right now? What do you mean? Okay, what do I mean by drowning? Well, drowning is when you have no job, no income, and you still need to pay your debt. And the worst thing is you don't have any connection. Then that is when you are drowning. So what does it mean by no connection? No connection means you don't know who can help you. That's the problem, right? If you don't know who are the one that can help you. So how about people that are floating? People who are floating will have jobs, but they only have one source of income. So their salary is their main income. Well, normally most of us are in debt. We still have mortgage to pay, car loan to pay, right? And floating, well, you are surviving. So, but you do not have connection also. So you also doesn't know who are the ones that are able to help you. But at least if you are floating, you have a stable income, and your monthly expenses might be able to help you to pay your debt. Right? You are still in a surviving mode. So how about swimming? Well, when you already have multiple sources of income and you have strong cash flow, you have good debt, you have good connection, then you are actually swimming against the tides, so that you don't have any problems. All right. So if you already in a swimming stage right now, good news. The recession will be your playing ocean. There'll be plenty of opportunities for you. And this is the time actually for you to level up. Okay. But if you are actually in a drowning and floating stage, please continue listening. So this webinar is designed to help you, to help those in a drowning and floating stage. Okay? So let me know which state are you right now? If you are drowning, floating, or swimming, yeah, please type the chat box here. Let me know. Okay. Oh, okay, Grace, floating. Okay, good. So you still have a job, which is good. All right. Anyone else? Between floating and swimming. Oh, that's okay. That's not that bad, Pauline. Half floating. Or sounding half floating. All right. Okay. All right. At least you are not drowning. That's one thing that's good. Okay. Good. All right. Okay. All right. Let me continue. Okay. So there are actually 4 classes of people. So I would also like to know which type are you right now. Okay. So class D are complainers. Complainers means people they like to complain, they're unwilling to change, they are unwilling to take action. They have the victim mentality, is everything is not their fault. They blame everything for any problems. Then they also think that life is very unfair to them. Then they are always in the losing end. So these are the type T people. Okay. Sometimes I call this the energy vampire. Okay, because dealing with class D people will actually drain your energy. Okay. So class C are people that have the wait and see mentality. So they always look for easy and convenient way to do things. Okay, nothing wrong with that. All right. So, but the problem is when things is too hard, then they stop trying. Right? So that will be one problem with Class C. So Class C prefer to be in the comfort zone and they have resistance to changes. So they always, these are the people that always think that, okay, please, COVID-19, please go away. I hope everything to get back to normal, right? So if you are Class C and Class D, I tell you once again, things is not going to be normal anymore, right? So how about Class B? Well, Class B people are people that are willing to learn, people that are willing to take action, but in their heart, they always hope for an easy way out. Well, actually, it's okay to be Class B, no problem with that, okay? Sometimes I'm also hope that things will work out easily, okay? But there's nothing wrong with Class B, right? At least Class B have the tendency of working hard and hope, but only thing that they are hoping for easy way. Okay, Class A. Class A, these are the high achiever. They will do whatever it takes. They will be willing to change, adapt to changes, and willing to learn. And most importantly, they are willing to take action. Okay. So the question, which class are you right now? But the most important question is, which class do you want to be? Please let me know, which class do you want to be? Right. At least I want to know my audience. Are there, which class are there? Pauline Tang, great. Okay, Class A. So you want to be Class A, great. That's the spirit, right? That's the spirit, Pauline. Anyone else? Okay, no one else. I want to be Class A, Grace Log. All right, Michael Class A, good. So you are actually in the right webinar right now. Okay, all right. Class A people. Class A and Class B people, at least A and B, these are the people that actually will be able to survive and thrive in the recession, right? If you think that you are comfortable with being in Class C and Class D, I'm so sorry that maybe this webinar is not for you. Okay, great. So everyone is answering A. That's great. Okay, so of course, next is what can you do, right? If I'm speaking too fast, please let me know because I have to finish this within 1 hour. Normally my talk is 1.5 to 2 hours. So because I have to finish this in 1 hour, so I have to talk a little bit faster. Okay, I hope you guys are able to get me. Okay. All right. So next. Okay. So these are what you need to do. Okay, and these are what you can do. All right. Of course, first of all, you need to get a job. Right. So if you already have one, you have to do whatever it takes to secure your job. Okay. How do you do that? Well, depending on what role you are playing in your company. So of course, depend on what role. Different role, you will have different strategy to play. Okay, different tactic that you need to take. Okay. But basically, in how to secure your job, basically you have to be useful to your boss. Don't you think so? Right. So what might you? Well, some of you might think that you are very useful to your boss, but the question is, does your boss know it? Right? So if you still have a job, try your best to help your company. What do you do? How can you help your company right now? Help your company to sell whatever product or services they have to offer, regardless of what department or what job role you are right now. Because right now, is very, very important for the company to survive. And to survive, the company needs revenue. Okay, so even if you are admin, even if you are in the account department, if you are able to help your boss sell, then you become an indispensable property of your company. Okay, so what if you do not have a job right now? So what you need to do is find one. Okay, so if you can't really find one, which is actually quite difficult at this current crisis, so the next best thing you can do is actually do the second one, which is to do some part-time freelancing work. Okay, so doing freelancing work also, you have to ask yourself, what skill set do you have that you can help to solve other people's problems, right? I mean, if you do not have any skill set, the minimum you can do is perhaps right now what people need are delivery service, which doesn't cost much. At least you need to have at least a motorcycle or a car then at least you can do some delivery service. That is the minimum you can do right now. Okay, but if you do have some skill set that is sought after, then it's good. Right. Let's say you have an accountant degree. You have working few years in the accounting department of a company. Then suddenly your company have no choice but to close down, and right now you do not have a job. So what can you do? You can start your own freelancing work. Right, in the accounting, there are still some company that I mean not so. They might want to outsource the accounting service right now. Okay, why? Because right now, as you know, April just finished, so people have to file for their income tax, and the company income tax will be due in June. So people do need this service right now. So if you are an accountant and you just lost a job, try to market yourself and then find some freelancing work to do accounting. Okay, so you need to know what skill set you have right now first, and not only you need to know your skill set, you also need to know, is your skill set useful? How can it help the market right now? Okay, right. So if, of course, next one, if you do not have any skill set, then you have to learn one. If you already have certain skill set, then you need to enhance it some more. Okay, how to do that? Well, take up a course, learn something. There are plenty of courses offered by iTrainingExpert. I mean, you just have to Google, search iTrainingExpert website. There are plenty of courses is offered by them. So, I mean, you might also want to ask me, what should I be learning, right? Okay, so in this current crisis or in this current economy, learn something that enable you to work remotely. Okay, because remote working will be the new norm right now, right? If you are a project manager, then you have to learn how to work remotely and remotely control the project. Okay, so, well, if you don't know what to learn, at least learn how to sell. Okay, because right now, selling skill is one of the most sought after skill, especially if you are able to sell remotely, which means if you are able to sell without face-to-face meeting, then this is actually a very, very sought after skill right now. If you can sell online, if you can sell through the without meeting face-to-face, it's a very, very powerful skill right now. Okay, I know. Most of you, a lot of people, they say, I don't like to sell, right? But don't you think that doing your job is also selling? Okay, doing a job, what you are selling is actually you are selling yourself, your brand. You are selling your skill set. You are also selling your knowledge. So whether you like it or not, you are doing sales nevertheless. Okay, so you need to know how to sell. Okay, so if you already has the next thing you can do is actually start a business. So if you already has more than one source of income previously, and assuming that your second source of income are able to cover your first source of income, then why, or you just lost your job, okay, then why not you concentrate on your part-time business and turn it into a main business? But the question, of course, you ask is, how do you ensure success? Well, there's no guarantee. But in fact, 90% of new businesses actually close down in the first 5 years of operation. So, and what can you do to ensure your chances of success? Well, stay tuned. We'll go through the next slide for it. Okay. And of course, there's also another thing that you can do to actually get extra cash flow. That is to investment. Okay. Right now, recession time is actually the best time to invest. But however, if you must know the rules of investment first before you play the game. Okay, because if you have never invested before and this is the first time you invest, then I would suggest is please invest in yourself first. Okay, what do you mean by invest in yourself? Invest in knowledge, invest in intelligence, invest in upgrading your emotional quotient, or invest in wisdom. Basically, pay to learn from yourself first. Okay, invest in yourself first, right? Rather than just put the money in the stock market right now, because if you don't know how to play the game, chances of losing are very, very high. Okay? But if you are already a good investor, by all means, recession is going to be your playing field. Okay. Okay. All right. So the most important part is actually the next slide. Okay. Stay tuned. All right, guys. Okay. This part is a bit will take a little bit more time because it's a lot of things that I need to talk about. So there are a few things that you need to change and or shift your perspective. The first one is actually your mindset. Okay? So the first shift you need to make is actually the shift of mindset. So whether you are employee or employer right now, your mindset have to shift to this. Okay, you have to shift your mindset to I am responsible for my life and the lifestyle of my family. Okay, your life and your family life is your responsible, right? So you must have the responsibility, shift the responsibility to yourself first. So if you are depending on government, you are depending your bosses to take care of you, I'm so sorry, it will not happen. Okay, so you have to shift your mindset that you're so responsible for your own life. Okay, so I mean, what does it mean to have responsible in your life? That means you have to treat your current job as your own business. Okay, so even if you're an employee right now, you have to treat your job as your own business. Okay, why? Because unless you can think like a boss, unless you treat your business as your own baby, you will never be able to do it well. Okay, why? Because your boss will not trust you. Well, why? Because trust is actually gained when both parties have the same goal. You will never have the same goal if you do not treat your company as your own businesses, because you do not have the emotional feeling towards the same goal. Okay? So your boss will never able to actually trust you unless you also have the same thinking power or mindset as your boss. Okay, I mean, for example, a lot of employee mindset is actually to do less and get paid more, right? Well, that is called insanity, because no people want to pay you more and do less and pay you more. Okay, so if you have the employer mindset, employer, what do they think? Okay, they value when employer, they can't do everything by themselves, so they need people to help them, and they value people who actually contribute more. Okay, regardless of their role. Okay, so so if you are the kind of people that say this is not my job, I don't care. I don't care if good problem happen as long as the problem does not affect me. Okay, so if that's your attitude previously, I hope not now, previously, then I'm sorry to tell you, well, now everything is going to be a problem. Why? Because your bosses will actually value people who are able to help him solve problems. Okay, so if you are the redundant, so-called redundant staff, the first one to go might be you. Okay, so imagine this: if you are the boss, okay, think of it this way: if you are the boss, who would you choose? Person A who can only do his job well in whatever department it is. This person A can do his job very, very well, but this person will not do anything extra. Okay, or person B doesn't care, doesn't matter. Okay, as long person B is someone who can actually help you solve problems. So regardless of what department he is from, okay, regardless of what role he is from. So which one will you value more? Okay, if you are the boss, right? Tell me, person A or person B? You can just type A and B and let me know, right? Okay. I mean, seriously, guys, I think the answer is very, very obvious. If you are the boss, who are you gonna value first, right? So of course, right, let me know, guys. Who are you going to value? Person A who can only do well in his job, or person B who can help you solve problems? Right? Pauline Tan, all right, B, Esther Shine, of course, B, right? I mean, honestly, I also think that is a no-brainer questions. Okay, I hope no one is typing A here right now. Well, in this crisis, okay, I mean, what can you do to help your boss solve his problem? Okay, so honestly, right now, most bosses, what is their a lot of bosses, what is their problem right now? Is actually sales, right? Sales revenue. If you can come up with a good idea, even if you don't do the sale, if you can come up with a good ideas that can help your boss sell more, so don't you think your boss will value you more? Okay, all right. I mean, different job role might require different tactic or strategy to do, but this all these things here in this slide is some shift in mentality that you should have in order to survive this recession. Okay, so second one is actually the skill set. Okay. So the question is, do you have the skill set that the market wants or needs? Right? Always ask yourself this question: what problem are you solving? And then, is this problem something that the market needs you to solve? Right? Okay, so I mean, some people, they are very good at certain things, but maybe their skill set are able to solve certain problems. But if the problem is something that the market thinks is redundant, then there's no point, right? Right? Okay, so skill set must also be able to solve what the market needs right now. Okay. So so you might also want to know what are the best skill set in this current crisis, right? So the best skill set right now is the ability to sell remotely or to sell online. Okay, if you are able to sell without meeting face to face, then this will be the most sought after skill right now, honestly. Okay, so if you want to know what skill set that you want to learn to get good at, is actually the ability to sell remotely or the ability to sell online. So this will be the most sought after skill set. And it's not only for this current crisis. It will be in the future. Selling online, selling remotely will be the top skill set that every businesses need and every businesses wants right now. Okay, so of course, then the next one, strategy. Well, what are strategies? Strategy are plans. I mean, some plans that need several stages. Okay, so what you read right now in this current crisis are actually not strategy. What you need right now are tactics. Okay? What do you mean? Well, tactics that able you to secure a job, there's one tactic. There's one of the simple tactics you need. Or some tactics to get the deal signed, perhaps. So we will not talk about strategy anymore in this crisis because strategies are long term. We need to survive this recession. We have to talk about tactics. Okay, so what you need to think more right now is what are the tactics. But before you want to think about what tactics you need to do, you need to have a goal first. Okay, because without a goal, you don't know what you want to achieve. And if you do not know what you want to achieve, there's no tactic or strategy that you can deploy. All right. I mean, am I making sense here? Okay. So first, before you think of any strategy or tactics, you must have a goal. So if your goal right now is to secure your job, then you have to think of a tactics of how can you secure a job. Okay. If your goal now is to actually to seal the deal, get the deal done, then you have to think of a tactics of how are you able to seal the deal. Okay. So the next one, I call it the vehicle, or some of you might want to think of it as a platform. Okay. So what are these? So platform or vehicle is actually something that you can leverage. Okay. Leverage to help you achieve your goal. Well, you don't have to do everything by yourself. I mean, it's impossible for us to do everything by ourselves. Okay, so if you are whether you're a business owner or whether you are employee right now, what you can do is actually you can collaborate or you can leverage on others' ready platform. Okay, so for example, right now, if you have any courses that you want let's say you have a consultancy businesses, okay, and you have some skill set in certain subject, let's say, okay, then you need a platform for you to sell maybe your courses, okay. So right now, perhaps iTrainingExpert might be one of the platform that you can utilize, okay, because iTrainingExpert is actually one of the very good training provider company out there in Malaysia, and they have businesses more than Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and I believe in Australia also, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so if you have courses you want to sell, you can collaborate with iTrainingExpert. So you are utilizing or leveraging on some other people platform. Okay, so this is what you need to do right now, is actually to find your own vehicle or to find your own platform. So if you are a business owner, one of the things that you can do right now is actually collaboration. Okay, so right now is actually, if you can, because right now not only you are struggling, business owner, some of your competitor is also struggling. So what you can do is you can actually collaborate a few people, few competitors together, and actually you can try to do things better that way. Okay, next is mentor. Okay, mentor is the most important thing, right? From my point of view. So if who are your mentor? Mentor are actually people who already been there, done that, able to give you advice, able to shorten your journey, and able to help you reduce failure. Okay? If there's one thing that you remember in this webinar, if you forget everything else that I say just now, please remember this. Okay, this is the one thing that you need to get, is actually getting a good mentor. Okay, with a good mentor, it will highly increase your chance of success and reduce your chance of failure. Okay, so please find a right mentor. Okay. Next, of course, you need to make a decision. Okay. What do I mean by that? So you need to make a decision right now. Decide if you want to be happy or you want to be sad. Okay, you have to decide if you want to be rich or you want to be poor. You also have to decide you want to be in class A or class B, class C or class D. So you have to make the decision right now, because right now everything is moving so fast. There is no time to procrastinate. Okay. So next is urgency. Urgency is also urgency in making your decision. Okay. You must have a sense of urgency. If you procrastinate, someone will take action faster. And if your competitor take action faster than you, then your opportunity will be gone. Right. So make sure you have to decide faster, you have the sense of urgency, and you take action now. Okay. So next is the EQ. So when the journey is going to be tough, only tough people will be able to continue the journey. Okay? So your mental strength has to be tough enough to overcome the recession. Okay? So you need to think about your loved one. Even if you are not doing this for yourself, you must do it for your loved one. Okay, you must do it for your family, your parents, your husband, your wife, your children. So you must cultivate a strong EQ right now. Okay, so you cannot allow your energy to go down. Right, so you have to keep your energy high. How? Your EQ or your mental have to be tough. Okay? Your emotion have to be tough. Okay? And lastly, and also very, very important, is actually execution. These will be the most important things to take away today, okay? If nothing else matter, nothing else matter if you do not take action, okay? So you need to take action now. You need to decide now that if you want to deserve a better life, you need to take action now, and you need to make it a reality, okay? All right, okay. Okay, guys, I need to be fast right now, all right? So I want to thank you guys for watching this webinar. Now that you have figured out what you can do to survive this recession, but honestly, because of 1 hour's time, I don't have enough time to actually talk too much. So this is only a concept of what you need to do, okay? I would actually like to introduce to you guys a new program purposely designed for this recession, all right? Okay, so